What's good, YouTube? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Cute Everyboy, aka TheWavMan, man. Here with TheWavMan.com to bring you guys another tutorial. Today, we're gonna be showing you how to get your masters louder to compete with your favorite rappers. All right? We're gonna bring your records from sounding something like this to sounding something like this. Let's get this bang thing. Yeah! What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another Wave Monopoly tutorial. Today we are gonna do what we said we were gonna do earlier, is make your masters louder. Now, how are we gonna do that, guys? Today we're gonna be focusing on a technique called soft clipping. All right. If we take a look at the screen right now, guys, you're gonna be seeing the soft clipper that we're gonna be using today is called a T-Rex Classic Clipper, okay? This is a soft clipper that we're gonna be using. It has 3 parameters and we're gonna keep it really simple so you guys can apply this to your mixes today, all right? I'm just go ahead and play this without the soft clipper, and then I'm gonna go ahead and play this with the soft clipper so you guys can hear what this is doing. Then I'll go technically inbound and we'll really break down what's going on behind behind the scenes and allow you guys to understand it technically wise and how to apply it to your mixes, your masters. Let's get into it. So this is without it. All right, and now we're gonna play it with the soft clipper applied. Let's do it. All right, big difference, all right? But wow, it sounds louder, but what am I doing, all right? So let's get deeper into it, and to do this, I'm gonna bring up a couple of analyzers so that we can see it on a technical level, and we can also listen to it and hear with our ears what's going on, all right? So what I'm gonna first pull up is, of course, our soft clipper. Now, what does a soft clipper do? All right, so what a soft clipper does is what it basically is doing is basically clipping off those digital transients that we get when we are, limiting records, those transients, those hard peaks. It's grabbing those peaks and catching them, all right, and kind of rounding them off, okay, so that when it's about to hit that limiter, or when it's hitting that limiter, it's hitting, in essence, softer, okay? So it's grabbing transients, okay, rounding them off so that by the time it's hitting the limiter, it is hitting the red a lot softer, or a little bit softer, all right? So that we can squeeze that little bit more extra volume into our masters, in essence, making our masters louder, okay? So this is our soft limiter that we're gonna be using today, okay? T-Rex Classic Clipper, all right? The next thing that we're gonna wanna, bring up is, of course, our limiter, okay? Because these all kind of work together in unison. So we're gonna bring up our soft clipper, our limiter, and then also I'm clicking this button here, as you can see in Pro Tools, just so I can have all these plugins up at the same time. And then we're gonna bring up our LUFs, okay? Our LUFs. Even though we do have LUFs over here as well, just to have it here so you guys can see it a little bit better visually. So this is our WLM meter, okay, from waves.com. So we got our T-Rex soft clipper, we have our limiter, and we have our LUFs meter. So now that we have these 3 plugins on our screen, we're gonna be able to really dissect this. So the first thing I wanna do is show you guys what the soft clipper is actually doing, and then I will show you how to apply it to your mixes and masters, okay? So let's go ahead and zero this out. So everything's zeroed out. Let me first explain what we have going on our clipper, okay? So our clipper, we have a gain. This is the input that we're inputting, basically our mix right here. Okay, this is how much gain that we want to input into the soft clipper, okay? Right here, as you can see, this is our slope, okay? You can see the left side pushed all the way to the left is gonna be more rounded out, okay? In essence, taking away transients. Transients are those initial peaks that are hitting as soon as, those drums or those snares are hitting, those transients, that is rounding them out, okay? So that's gonna be basically, rubbing off some of those, that punch in a way. And then, of course, we have our more just straight or hard knee, okay? So it's like a soft knee and a hard knee, which is, allowing those transients to actually punch. So towards the right side, it's gonna be more punchy, and towards the left side, it's gonna be more rounded out, warmer, analog, lack of better terms. So we're gonna put that back at its, regular level. And our output, self-explanatory, our output, our levels coming out of this plugin, okay? So when I'm basically, clipping this record, I'm gonna wanna add some gain, okay? So initially, I'm gonna be adding gain, and we're gonna be looking that the soft clipper is gonna be doing some saturating, harmonic saturating that the sound is gonna be there. If you overdo it, it's gonna become distorting, and it's gonna sound crunchy. So we wanna make sure that we're being very, we want to be very gentle with this plugin, okay? So I don't want more than about two, three if I really want to push it, gain reduction going on. So let's go ahead and play this at our loudest part so that we're able to get into this right here. Let's get it. All right, as you can see, we got the gain level to about 9.8. I'm gonna leave that there. It's not doing too much. As you can see, we have this saturation button. It's red, so we are saturating the record. But as you can hear, it's a pleasant saturation. It's nothing too crazy that's, disturbing the record. So we're gonna stick there. Now, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go OD, and I'm about to exaggerate each knee so you guys can each hear what each side is doing, and then we can go ahead and make what we want to come from this, all right? So I'm gonna first go to the hard knee. Notice the punch, the transients cranking through, keeping that punch, and then notice when I bring it all the way back to the more rounded outside that it's gonna kind of take away from that punch just a little bit, all right? Let's go ahead and listen to it. All right, so with that being said, what I want is to actually keep some of that punch, but I want to round it off just a little bit so that I'll be able to push some of that level towards the end that I'm going to be demonstrating in a little bit. So I'm going to listen, and I'm just going to push it a little bit so that we can get that sweet spot, and then we'll get to the next thing. Let's get into it. All right, so that's cool right there. I'm gonna leave the output at what it's at. Let me go ahead and bring up this limiter. Okay, so we have the limiter. All right, let me go ahead and zero out the gain reduction that we're getting in the limiter, and let me also bring up the LUF meter. All right, so now that we have all three of these on the screen, we kind of dialed in our soft clipper. Let's go ahead and dial in our limiter now, okay? What I'm looking for is to push the level as maximum as possible. I'm not really looking to keep too much dynamics. I'm really just trying to crush this record and get the loudest numbers I can get out of it without it distorting and sounding crazy. So let's get into it. All right, so as you can see, we were able to squeeze just adding 3 dBs of limiting, and we have about -3 in gain reduction right here, okay? So as you can see, we were able to push out -9, about -9. I think I could get about 1 more dB. I think we can get that to 8, but as of right now, we're gonna take -9. I would master my stuff there, no problem, because like I said, I'm not trying to make anything the loudest that you hear on radio, because Grammys are winning at -11 LUFs and so forth. So it's not necessarily just about having the loudest record, but I'm comfortable with -9. So that's how do you use the soft clipper to get louder levels, but I wanna show you exactly the magic that's going on underneath the hood, all right? So that is how you use the soft clipper. Now, what I'm gonna go ahead and do now is I'm gonna go ahead and turn off our soft clipper and show you guys what a lot of people are doing to get those levels out and what the magic is going on with the soft clipper. So let's get into it. I'm gonna go ahead and bypass the soft clipper. So in order to get -3 gain reduction out of the limiter alone without going through the soft clipper before the limiter, okay? Let's get into it. Let's see what we have to do to reach -3, what we were reaching right here. So with the soft clipper on, okay? So we're trying to reach that -3 and see what lust we get out of it, okay? So let's bypass the soft clipper and let's go ahead and try to get -3 gain reduction out of the limiter alone without the technique that we're using. Let's see what we have to do. So as you can see, we're getting -3 out of the limiter, the same thing we were getting with the soft clipper, but now that's bypassed, that's not affecting this limiter at all. And you can see we're not even getting the same level in lufts, okay? So this is where that magic comes in. We're not getting the same limiter that we were getting when we had that soft clipper before, okay? Our loudness is not the same. So let me go ahead and add the soft clipper. Let me go ahead and add the soft clipper. Let me take some output out of it, and let's go ahead and hear the levels. We're gonna listen to the levels now, and tell me if the levels sound the same. And let's look at our gain reduction. Let's see the magic that happens. Okay, let's see what happens when we turn it down and kind of play with it. So that's what a soft clipper does, okay? We took the output down just to show you guys that the limiter stayed the same. Let's go ahead and bypass this. So that's literally the magic of this soft clipper. If you just watched that, you saw when I added the soft clipper, it literally magically brings down that gain reduction level because the soft clipper is working, yet you still hear the same volume. If you didn't hear what I'm saying, please rewind that clip over again. Watch as I bypass and stop bypassing. Watch the levels on the gain reduction of the limiter and watch the levels on the lufts and understand the concept that's going on. That clipper, that soft clipper, is literally rounding off some of that transient, right? And so we're able to boost up our levels to get that little bit extra leveling, that little extra volume, that loudness that we're trying to achieve. And what it's doing is it's kind of rounding it off in a beautiful harmonic way to where we're able to push the record up as a whole in general, all right? So that's how you get that little bit of extra volume for your records to compete with mainstream records, all right? You already know who it is, man. It's your boy Q Everywhere, a.k.a. TheWavMan, man. Hey, look, we finna go crazy. Let's get into it. You already know what time it is, man. Let's get into it. Yay! Dunzos!